Hey everyone, DynoRage here with another video. Today we're going over pack running and all the things you need to actually make some coin. When doing your crate run, there are 5 steps to keep in mind. There is choosing what type of crate you want to run, the prep work, the planning, the execution, and of course the completion. Step 1, selecting the correct pack. Now currently in-game there are 7 types of packs and crates you can create. The first one is the personal storage crate. The second one is the Guild Commodities Crate. Then there's the Settlement Commodities Crate, Market Commodity Crate, the Harbor Commodity Crate, the Lawless Commodity Crate, which I call the Pirate Crates, then finally the Construction Crate. There is currently 3 non-money crates: the Personal Storage Crate, the Construction Crate, and the Settlement Commodity Crate. The Personal Storage Crate is used for all your personal items that you plan on keeping. This allows you to stack the items much higher than you can in your own personal storage or even in your storage bank. Then you have the Construction Crate. This is used to help actually build up cities and towns, and later down the road when cities actually start getting destroyed, it will help actually repair the cities and towns as well. Then for the final non-money crate, it's the Settlement Commodities Crate. What's nice about this is a way for you to get Sanctum scripts, which is the current in-game town currency that is used between all the different towns. You will need these scripts to turn into vendors to actually get what's called a commodity certificate, and depending on the level of the certificate, requires more of those Sanctum scripts. Now the ones that make money are the Market Commodity Crate, the Guild Commodity Crate, the Harbor Commodity Crate, and the Pirate Commodity Crate. The Market and the Harbor Crate are very similar. They take the same type of resources to actually create, except for where what I call the Pirate Crates take the Lawless package instead of the City Commodity Certificates. As you can see in the screenshot, the Lawless packages actually cost copper and silver, where the Commodity Certificates actually cost Sanctum scripts. And outside of that, they all still require the same other materials that go into the package. Let's go over some of the different types of rewards that you get from the different types of crates. The first one is the most important, which is the Market Commodity Crate. Now these, when you turn them in, will actually give you silver to gold coins depending on the distance that you travel. While the Guild Commodity Crates give you what's called Guild Seals of Valor. These can actually be turned into guild experience to level up your guild, or you could take those valors and actually sell them on the open market to try to push out a little extra coin. So if you're looking for coin, go with the Market Commodity Crate. Then finally you have Vernet Flux, which currently is a endgame resource that has no current use, as this is anticipated to be a level 50 item for crafting. I'll be skipping the caravan runs and moving items by boat, as that's a video for another time. However, a quick note about caravans is that it creates an event that players can join to defend or attack the caravan. Now, compared to boats, where if you're in the open sea, which is a lawless zone, it becomes an open field for players to attack each other without any repercussions from the karma system. This also affects your caravan when you turn it into the boat to travel by sea. Now, step 3. Now we are on the second part, which is the meat and potatoes of everything you need to actually run a pack. The first thing you need is Sanctum scripts. The 2 best ways to get the Sanctum scripts is by either turning in crafting items for a city to help build it up, and this can be done in any city, even if you're not a resident of said city. The other way is by doing the commission boards in every town or outpost. There is a small chance that you get the Sanctum scripts as a reward. Once you've collected enough Sanctum scripts, you are going to go to a commodities vendor and buy the commodity certificate. Rarer the commodity certificate, better the reward. Do keep in mind as well, the resources that you put into the commodity crate affects the quality of the crate. The certificate is just what is the maximum level that crate can go up to. So please make sure that you use the correct materials for said certificate, or you can actually go and downgrade it. Something to also keep in mind, if you'd like to get the rare certificate, you will have to build up a reputation within a city to have access to the rarer certificates. You can build up this reputation just by doing the commission boards, turning in materials to the town that you're a citizen of, or just actually participating in the zone and gathering or even killing mobs. Now that you got your certificates, what you need to do is collect the materials that's needed to go into the actual crates. Generally, it's either 12 stone, metal, or gems. The second one is 12 wood or plants. And the third one is 5 fish or carcasses. Once you have your materials, just go to any crafting station that you want to create the commodity crate for, and you're done. Once it is completed in the crafting station, it'll go right onto your back, which you can have access to through your character sheet. But before you actually create your crate, I do recommend that you go out and get a mule mount. The important thing about the mule mount is that it actually reduces the penalties of actually carrying a crate, which is 90% of your movement speed, and this also affects your traditional mount as well. I recommend 2 of them at start. The first one you can get is the Daystrider Pack Mule, which can be attained through the Herbalist vendor for 34 copper. Then you're going to go over to the Animal Husbandry station, and under Crate Mules, you'll select the Daystrider. Then select Start Job. Once again, if you're doing 2, it'll take you an hour, so half hour per. Now, training costs can vary depending on if you do it in the city or at any basic outpost. However, it will take a half hour per mount to actually complete training. So I would start this process before actually going out and collecting the materials for your crates. It is worth the investment for the mount and to have 2 of them. Once your Daystrider is complete and you have it in the inventory, you are done. You've got everything basically what you need to actually start running packs. We're moving on to the actual next part, which is actually planning where you want to go to take these packs. While at the crafting station, you can shift left click the actual image of the package, and it'll give you an actual breakdown of what everything is currently paying out at the most basic common package. Now, this does not consider the calculations for diminished returns, which happens when players are running the same type of pack to the same exact city. For example, you can see a city that says it has a payout of 1 gold, and by the time you get there, because of so many packs that have ran over there, it might only be worth 50 silver. So this is something to keep in mind when you're also where you're actually going. Then you have to consider different level rarities as well, as it's the base price, let's say the 1 gold, and if you had an uncommon, it would be an increase of 20%. Then minus the diminished return, whatever that is currently calculated at. There is currently no systems out there that you can actually use to determine the diminished return to see if a pack is actually worth running outside of building a network of players and seeing what they are currently saying. Now, there's also the fact too that the list that you see is all the towns. Not all the towns are at the proper level, which must be at level 3 to actually be able to turn in crates. So do double check the city before you actually start your run. Now, as a beginner and you're between the levels of 5 and 10, doing something locally in your zone, i.e. Riverlands or the Anvil, it's a lot safer to run between these towns than try to go between the north and the south, as you'll be running into mobs that will automatically be pulled to you based on your level and your mount as well. You will experience trial and error, and you'll be learning different paths that you can take to actually help you get around when you're doing those longer haul crate runs. Learning a path too will also help you actually be able to run caravans, as they are a little bit trickier in the current state they are in. So go out there, learn a few things, and make some money. Once you make it to the town, you're going to go to the commodity vendor of the station of which you actually built the crate from. So press F and you'll actually turn in. You'll get a system message popping up what your reward is going to be. Now, if it's too low for your liking, you can just press cancel and move to another town, or if you want to collect a reward, just click OK. The items will be deposited into your bag. And then, congratulations, you've ran your first trade pack. Now, you get to do it all over again. Use your trade packs to either start building up your guild's level, build your own war chest to create your own caravan empire, or to supply and support your crafting professions. The sky's the limit. Here are a few tips and tricks that I've come up with over my past 6 months of running trade packs and caravans in that time. Number 1, and I keep stressing this out, have 2 mule mounts. You have no idea how many times a creature or a player has just come along and killed my mount just for the heck of it. Having 2 is a great way of being able to recover from one loss and be able to get back up and get you out of a bad situation. Tip number 2, if you are carrying the pack and not your Daze Strider, you can actually despawn the Daze Strider if a mob is on it, and the mob will generally reset back to its initial spot that you aggroed it, as its target no longer exists anymore. This also helps too if a player is directly targeting your mount. Tip number 3. If you are doing a long haul and something ends up coming up in real life, you can stop at any harbor or a caravan master and turn your pack into that town to hold on to until you come back to the game. This also works for if you're moving things via ship or actually through caravans. So if you're heading to a zone where there's a lot of gankers happening at that time, you can also do that as well and wait for the zone to actually cool off. It's also a good way too if you're waiting to meet up with guards or even guild members to help finish the run. Tip number 4, if your fun is going to be running packs from place to place, I recommend playing the tank. If you're going to be by yourself or running the ships and caravans, being a tank is great. The tank also has an ability which allows you to summon a wall, which helps break the line of sight from not only player attacks, but NPCs' special attacks. If you find yourself getting dismounted, you don't want to have your next mount that you summon up get one-shotted as well. And as my final tip, always make sure your mule is topped off. Nothing is worse than thinking that you have a full health mule that ends up getting one-shotted by a bird because you just got a little too close to it and you haven't been paying attention at your mount's health. And that's currently it. Currently we're sitting at patch 0.18.7. So I am certain this video will be outdated pretty quickly once everyone gets back from their holiday vacations. However, until then, I strongly recommend you guys going out there and making some money. Let me know what you guys think. Did this video help you at all? Have any tips or tricks to help out some of the newer players that are getting into Ashes Creations now? Leave them in the comments below, and I'll talk to you guys next time.